Hey everyone, Michael Kerr here, Humor at Work TV. I'm in my hometown of Canmore, Alberta, in the spectacular, inspiring Canadian Rockies. Next to me is a very inspiring fellow, a friend, fellow speaker, fellow Canmorean,
True.
Warren Macdonald. Now,
Right.
Warren, when small children meet you for the first time,
Yep.
is there a question that pops into their head?
After they cry,
After they cry?
which does happen every now and then, it's usually got something to do with where are your legs? Sometimes in a demanding way like that. Where are they? What have you done with them?
Did you hide them? Are they in the car?
Exactly.
Like, what have you
So
done?
after looking around, which is usually a great start, creates more confusion. But no, kids do come up with the best questions, really. I've had kids ask me whether I'm a robot, which I love. I love that. That always leads in some interesting directions. What happened? Sometimes I tell them that I didn't eat my vegetables, which goes down well with mothers sometimes and terribly at others. But it is true. It's not a magic trick. Sometimes I'll like kind of lift up out of my chair and they look underneath to try and see whether I'm hiding my legs somewhere, and then eventually they're convinced. But no, I did lose them in an accident in the mountains. Kind of not quite like these mountains, but back in Australia. So I'm obviously not from here. I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. On a climb with a guy that I had just met the day before, and hiking. I was basically climbing up out of a gully to get away from the creek, our water source, so that I could take a leg. I was trying to do the right thing, and basically as I climbed up and out, I had a 1 ton, what they told me afterwards was a 1 ton block, break out, land in my lap, and that was me. For the next 45 hours I wasn't going anywhere. I lay there trapped, got through the night. We decided that my buddy would hike out, organise a rescue, and so I just settled in to wait, really, until the helicopter came in, winched a couple of guys down.
Sorry, I want to stop you there.
Well, actually, I wrote some material.
Settled in to wait.
Well, actually, yeah.
Enjoy the scenery, you know.
Well,
you're not going anywhere.
No, well, I wasn't going anywhere. Probably more accurate is what I got to do is I got to watch in slow motion. You know, that people say that your life flashes before your eyes. Well, not when you're trapped like I was. It doesn't. It goes by in this movie. Some of it was okay to watch. Some of it was horrible, but that's, I kind of rode this roller coaster ride. You know, I've been super psyched at times and completely giving up at others. You know, some people say, well, you must be this incredibly motivated guy. You know, and I'm like, no, I didn't just sit there and think happy thoughts. I completely gave up at times and then bounced back up. But eventually they did get me out straight to hospital, where they told me that they'd have to amputate both legs. I woke up into a completely new world. Right, into a completely new reality, because I had always prided myself on being an outdoors kind of guy, throw on a backpack, go anywhere, and now all of a sudden I'm like this, right? And I had no idea on what the world of disability looked like, so I didn't know what life was going to be like at all. So it became this process of exploring and banging up against obstacles and then putting them behind me.
You were telling me earlier that you looked at all your new reality, as you put it.
Yeah.
It was all about your mental perception of things, and you decided to view everything as a challenge, right?
Yeah.
And use that to motivate you to adapt to your new life.
Exactly. It's and that's, I mean, these days that's a big part of what I talk about is perception. How we see things sets really the framework for how things are going to pan out. Because if everywhere you look you see disaster, then really that's what you're going to get. And so for me, that's how it was in the early days. Everywhere I looked was something trying to shut me down. But what I learned is that each time that you overcome one of those obstacles, it makes you stronger for the next one.
And when we talk about perception, that's something I talk about when I talk about tapping into our sense of humor, because humor is all about how we perceive the world around us.
Yeah.
And knowing you, I know you have a very good sense of humor.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about how humor helped you deal with these challenges and continue to help you deal with the challenges you face.
Well, I think, there's some funny stuff happens, right, when you're cruising around with no legs, from kids, you know, hiding behind their mums, pointing at you, calling you a robot, to just no end of stuff. I mean, coming out of a movie theatre, I'm washing my hands in the bathroom, I find that there's no taps up here, right, and think I'm going crazy. I look around everywhere, the tap's down on it's a foot pedal. that you're supposed to stand on. So I'm there, one hand down here, one hand at a time, washing my hands. It could have been a new dance move. But you could easily, a person could get completely demoralised by that, or you see the funny side in it, and just move on with your life. I think that's a big part of what humour helps us with. It helps us deal with challenging situations by seeing the funny side rather than being all freaked out.
And you were telling me about your first time after the accident buying shoes.
Buying shoes, yeah. Which, of course, as you do as a legless guy who you would think would have no need for shoes at all. But I decided I wanted to try prosthetics, and the last thing that I wanted was to wear, put a pair of tennis shoes or something, Apologies to the tennis players out there, but as an outdoors guy, I wanted hiking boots on them. So I head to my local outdoors store, park the car, jump in the wheelchair, straight into the store, straight to the shoe section, which I've got to say, it kind of created this exodus. Everybody disappeared, right? But I managed to corner one young guy, the new guy, in the corner, and you could see that he was trapped. He kind of looked like an impala in one of those wildlife shows. And he said, "Can I help you, sir?" And I said, "Yeah, what I need a pair of light boots to fit." And I reach under my chair to grab my prosthetic leg, which, to my horror, I discover it's not there. And I'm like, wait a minute, I've left it back in the car. Like, what an idiot. So how does that happen? A guy goes to buy his first pair of shoes after this happens, and he leaves his leg behind. But that's what happened. So I come back. I've got the leg. So we start trying shoes. I like some of them, I don't like others, but then I spot the bargain bin, and being a bargain hunter, I'm like, right, let's look over there, it's 40% off. We start rummaging through. I'm trying everything. They're too small, they're too big, nothing's working. And this guy, because he wants to get rid of me as fast as possible, right? And he says, "Sir, I think we're going to have to move back to the full price section." I said, "Hey, not so fast. I'll find something in here, and if I don't, I'll change my feet to make these work." Right? They're 40% off, where this is how it's going to work. And so they're the kind of things that I get a kick out of when they happen, because they kind of break the ice. Everybody can kind of relax a little bit, because I mean, this guy, he couldn't take much more. I could see it.
You were having fun with him. You probably thought he was being punked.
He was on the edge.
Well, that's awesome. If you folks are looking for an inspiring, unforgettable keynote speaker for your event, I highly recommend Warren Macdonald. Lots of humor, incredibly inspiring story, and a great reminder that no matter what life throws you, I guess literally in your case, in terms of a giant boulder, humor can help you deal with it. And how you look at things, how you look at challenges is the key to success, I think. Would you not agree, Warren?
Absolutely.
Anything.
I would absolutely agree.